Looks like there's some trouble in paradise. Liberal MP Nathaniel Erskine Smith criticizes the liberal budget put forward by Mark Carney and Philippe Champagne. Very interesting. Now, before we get into this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps me grow the channel, but also we got to remember one thing here. If a conservative MP came out and criticized a budget put out by the conservatives, or Pierre-Poilievre, what do you think the mainstream media would do? They'd go nuts. They went nuts over one floor crossing, right? What do you think they would react if a conservative did this to Pierre-Poilievre? And then you have to wonder why they're not going crazy right now over Nathaniel Erskine Smith's comments. So we're going to get into this. And this was actually posted by Chris Workington, so give him a follow, give him a shout out. He says, wow, even liberals agree that Mark Carney's budget is a failure. Watch Liberal MP criticize Budget 2025. Says it falls short of Liberal election promises on climate action, housing, and spending. Okay, so let's have a look and then we'll talk about it.
First, stalled climate action, cutting tree planting, moving away from an emissions gap, winding down greener homes. No new money for climate action. On housing, it falls short of these specific promises in our platform, and it unfortunately falls well short of the wartime effort that many of us thought we'd deliver. The budget adds $140 billion in new spending over 5 years, $90 billion net after savings, and only 36% of the net new spending is capital. My kids shouldn't pay for today's military or for me to save $400 of income taxes. We see the budget commit to a new inefficient fossil fuel subsidy for LNG facilities. We do not need more public dollars chasing fossil fuels. Worse, we see major cuts of over $2.5 billion over 4 years to international development assistance. Overall, the budget meets the moment in part, but fairly, it does not live up to its promise of generational investments. First, stalled climate action, cutting tree planting,
It would be so interesting if this guy flipped over to the conservatives. He's not going to, because he's certainly no conservative. But it's interesting. Is there a revolt in the Liberal caucus? Is there infighting? Is the party falling apart? Those are all things you would hear by the mainstream media, people like Scott Reed. They would be saying that exact thing if this were the conservatives. But it's a Liberal, and it's like, oh, nothing to see here. Nothing to see. This is over 9 hours ago. I was checking on my breaks at work today. Where's the Liberal media on this? Nowhere to be found. How weird. I mean, it's not like there's a liberal bias amongst the mainstream media or anything like that, right? Right? Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's just so... And you know, again, it is good that a liberal will actually criticize a liberal, because just because you're a liberal doesn't mean you agree with every single liberal, and vice versa with the conservatives. It's just strange how it's being completely ignored, even by independent media. I didn't see Laura Babcock or Dean Blundell say anything about this. Maybe they did and I just missed it, but I didn't see it. Isn't that weird? Now, on a more serious note, today is Remembrance Day, and if you haven't already, please take a moment and pay some respects to the people who gave their lives to keep us safe. Now, I'm not saying that what they fought for is representative of what's happening today, but they made it possible for us to be here. Because if it weren't for them, we'd all be speaking German right now, and you know exactly what I mean by that. Those are brave men and women. They kept their families safe. They protected their country. And we got to give a lot of respect to them for doing that. So, to end this video, Mr. Sunshine posted this clip from Raquel Doncho. It says, today, thank a veteran. Remember the sacrifices of those who served in the military to defend your rights and freedoms. Let us continue to preserve those freedoms that we hold for granted. Well said. So let's have a look at this. Then I'll end the video with that.
On November 11th, Canadians across the country stand together to honor and remember the men and women who served and the many who never returned home. In Winnipeg, Valor Road tells a remarkable story. It was so named to honor 3 men who received the Victoria Cross, Canada's highest award for bravery. Sergeant Major Frederick Hall gave his life in 1915, killed while trying to rescue wounded comrades at Ypres. Corporal Leo Clark, in 1916, fought alone to repel a German attack at Pozières Ridge and was mortally wounded weeks later. Lieutenant Robert Shankland, in 1917, led his men at Passchendaele, holding the line against overwhelming odds until reinforcements arrived. Their courage and the sacrifice of all who served is the reason we gather each year. I encourage you and your family to attend your local Remembrance Day service to remember and to honor the cost of freedom, lest we forget.